Dear WNBA, everything does not need to be a record or historic or all this stuff. Everything does not need to be that way. It's fine to just say, just post the ratings. That is fine. That is absolutely fine. But like, it is another situation than pretending like Caitlin Clark doesn't exist. Because every single like comment is gonna, response for people is like, oh, people out here saying that people wouldn't watch without Caitlin. It's literally down 40% without Caitlin. There are more viewers for an average Caitlin Clark game than for the All-Star game. Second most viewed All-Star game. Oh, it's up 158%. Oh, on 2023. It's up 158%. And you can't, pre-2024, pre-Caitlin Clark numbers. The WNBA BC, they have the BC, which is the before Clark era of the WNBA. The BC era of the WNBA, like, legitimately is a different league. It's a different league entirely. A lot of time the games weren't on prime time. Nobody cared. Nobody cared about their games. And the All-Star game pulled in less viewers than an average Caitlin Clark game. And that is, by the way, this is ESPN, ABC, Disney Plus. Like, this is on all of them combined. It's on ESPN Plus, ABC, and Disney Plus. Man, if Caitlin Clark plays a random game on ABC, it's going to get close to 3 million. Well, not 3 million is an exaggeration, but it's going to get 2.5 million minimum. 1.3 million viewers, fair play. But like, it's up 89%. Oh no, we're going to do it to 2023 here. I mean, I'm not joking when I say this. Like, you can have anything. You can have anything. Like, just for example, I'm just going to use, again, it's easier to make an opinion and make a point on my own, on things for myself. I have pulled in more viewers. Like, my July is down on my June. My July is going to be, not viewership-wise. Let's just say my July is down from last July. My last July, or my last September, like the last real month of WNBA, this month has been worse than last year. Yeah, well, mainly because Caitlin Clark hasn't played basketball pretty much all year. But, so it's down on last year. But if I want to compare it to January, a month where nothing was happening, and there was no WNBA free agency, no Unrivaled hadn't started yet, all of these things. So if I want to go and compare it to January, I can say, oh, look, I'm up 400% on January. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? Honestly, what does that mean? Being up 400% on January, what does that mean? It means nothing. It means being up 400% on January means nothing because, let's be honest, we're out here in, July? It's worse than last year. You can just pick random statistics. You can literally just pick random statistics saying, oh, it's greater than this. Like, yeah, obviously. People lie for the reason. They're not lying. They're just skewing data. They're trying to make it so that the data looks as favorable as possible. But, like, what's the point? What is the point? Like, they're not technically lying. It's like when Elle Duncan came out and literally said, we don't compare to 2024 because it's an anomaly. Like, we don't compare to 2024 because it's an anomaly. Like, it's weird. Like, what's the point? Like, you can literally be okay with, look, 2024 is historic, but this is the second best year. Not, this is historic. And they were like, scored historic viewership. How is it historic when it's like half of last year? Last year was nearly 4 million. How is it historic when it's like half of last year? Last year was historic viewership. This year, by the way, on the Friday, was genuinely, that was historic. Historic Friday views. We got historic viewership for Friday weekend. Why not put up 153? Just say 2.2 million average viewers and then just say second most watched All-Star game ever behind 2024, which is fine. You don't even have to say how down bad it is. It's a PR page. It's a PR page. Realistically, nobody's going to get too annoyed if it's a PR and you don't have a negative down on last year. But not pretending that it's up. Not pretending it's I'm going to look through the things. A historic weekend. I agree. ESPN lying again. Didn't somebody lie and say if Frat Boy didn't play, no one was tuning in? Yeah, nobody tuned in. Interesting considering who wasn't even participating. Yeah, it halved on last year. This shouldn't even be a discussion because you want the league to grow. You'd be happy viewership's gone up. Hate to this, but PR nonsense like this pisses me off. Up 158% versus 2023. Guess why 2023? Exactly. Like, look, I watched the game. Those numbers without a certain player, but I thought they were only watching for her. There's literally 2 million people, like 2 million difference. Like, that's the problem with this. And like, the whole they're only watching for Caitlin is wrong. But when you continue to pretend, literally pretend that 2024 does not anything with Caitlin Clark, you do not compare. If Caitlin Clark was in it, we're going to say it's up on non-Caitlin Clark numbers because, you know, Caitlin Clark's just an anomaly. Caitlin Clark's not a player. Caitlin Clark is not relevant to this. Caitlin Clark is an anomaly. And the more they are pushing this Caitlin Clark is an anomaly, the less power the league and players have. Let's be real. The players could go in with these numbers and then you're just going to say, but like it's down on last year. You're like, okay, yeah. The owners can just say to the players, look, you're getting all this growth, but like you can see when Caitlin doesn't play, it halves. And how are we meant to know that if Caitlin ends up missing a year or Caitlin's gone, that all those fans don't just leave again? That is realistically what the owners can just say. And it's playing devil's advocate because I think the players deserve to get paid way more. I think they deserve to get paid way more. I think realistically, the thing that I want most that the league happens, I think there are multiple players in this league that are worth $1 million plus. Caitlin's worth $10 million. There are other multiple players that are worth $1 million plus for this league because there are a lot of individual teams that are absolutely like making big bucks, making big money. But there are some teams that aren't. And that's the problem with American sports leagues is if some teams are absolutely shocking and they're ran terribly, there's nothing you can really do about that. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments section below. Do you guys agree with this take? Do you guys disagree? Because at the end of the day, it is what it is. It is what it is, and it is genuinely, like, it's a mad one. Like, you're seeing some people being like, oh, this is the Paige Bueckers effect, and I'm like, no, it's the new fans that came in with Caitlin Clark that have decided to stay effect. Let's be honest. But anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it. Lads. That's the video. I'll see you guys.